Welcome to Math 15, Introduction to Statistics. We're going to talk about Chapter 1, Section 2, Statistical Thinking. Now when you make observations of things in the world, you're going to notice that you can observe things that are numeric, you can observe things that are non-numeric, but all these things can be observed and then information collected about these things. This information collected, these observations, is called data. Now, data is the center for the course that we are studying, statistics. Statistics is the science of planning studies and experiments, obtaining the data, and then organizing, summarizing, presenting and analyzing, interpreting and drawing conclusions based on the data. Now, we're going to talk about populations, which are all of the elements that we're studying, versus samples, which is just a subset of the elements that we are studying. So when you hear people talk about populations, they're talking about every possible element. Our course is going to focus on statistics, which are values calculated from subsets, because generally you don't have access to an entire population, you have access to a subset. And then you try to make inferences from that collection of information from the subset about the entire population. Now a census is when you are collecting data from every member of the population, versus say a poll, which is again collection from a subset, a sample. This course has three main areas: descriptive statistics, probability, and inferential statistics. The goal of this course is so that you can effectively use inferential statistics to make predictions about specific areas that you want to learn more about. And so in order to do effectively the inferential statistics portion of the course, we have to learn descriptive statistics, which is that branch that involves the organization, summarization, and display of data. Probability, which involves the calculation of the likelihood that an event occurs, and hopefully we are familiar with the fact that a probability of 1 implies that the event is certain to occur. A probability of 0 indicates that the event cannot possibly happen. And then finally we use these descriptive and statistics techniques and probability techniques to do inferential statistics, which involves using a sample to draw conclusions about a population. Now, descriptive statistics and probability are the tools we're going to use to be effective in inferential statistics, so please make sure as you're doing these first two sections of the course, you think about how they can be used to draw these conclusions we want to draw about our populations. Now, if you look at the next section on the handout, you'll see that when conducting a statistical analysis, you always have to consider the context from which you're obtaining the data. So if you are obtaining it from within a setting where everyone wants a specific thing to occur, that context may affect the actual data that's collected. The source, if they are definitely influenced by the outcome. For example, if a company has a study and that outcome would then determine how effective their profits may be for that year, then the source could be considered potentially biased. Sampling methods that allow people to get elements that would be advantageous or would lean towards their desired conclusions would be ineffective sampling methods. We want unbiased sampling methods, and we'll talk about the different types of methods we could use. And then we're going to draw conclusions, and you have to make sure that these conclusions are clear. In everyday English, you don't want these conclusions strictly to be written in mathematical terms, which oftentimes confuses the general population. And then you actually look at the practical implications of what we've done. How do these results actually apply to a specific setting in which you're working? And that's our overview of Section 1-2.